Lasagna. Everyone loves lasagna, and if you're not one of those people, I'm not sure why you're here, but you're welcome to stay. History lesson. Lasagna originated in Italy during the Middle Ages and has traditionally been ascribed to the city of Naples. The first recorded recipe was set down in early 14th century, Libro di Cucina, otherwise known as the Book of Cookery, one of the oldest cookbooks in history. That's pretty damn cool. It bore only a slight resemblance to the later traditional form of lasagna, featuring a fermented dough flattened into a thin sheet, boiled, sprinkled with cheese and spices, and then eaten with a small pointed stick. On to the lasagna. Now, you always see recipes for giant lasagnas, and you know what? There's only 2 people in this house, so I'm making a lasagna for 2, but essentially it's gonna be 4 pieces, and what we don't eat tonight, we'll have tomorrow. So for this size, I'm using 10 Roma tomatoes. Take a nice sharp knife and score them like so. Bring a nice big old pot up to a boil. Fill an equally big bowl with ice and water. Have this ready to go because as soon as those tomatoes are done, all that boiling water, they need to go immediately into the ice bath. Drop your aromas into that boiling water for 45 to 60 seconds. That's all you'll need. Soon as that time's up, drop them right into that ice bath and you can watch that skin just peel right off. And whatever's left on, just peel it off with your fingers. It's quite easy, and then take a knife and cut off the stems. And then quarter them like so. Get yourself a nice deep pan, hot and ready. Put about a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And for the meat portion of our meat sauce, we used a 1/4 pound of ground beef. Mince it up nice and good unless you want your sauce to be chunky. That's my rap name, Chunky Sauce. Put a little minced garlic in there. Don't put it in too early. You do not want to burn your garlic because it's gonna suck. Once nice and browned, go ahead and throw in your chopped up tomatoes. Now the fun part, and one of the old world techniques. Mash the hell out of them for a long time. Whoop, time to sit back and enjoy the fresh basil. Okay, back to mashing. Now I put a spoonful of tomato paste in this just to help thicken it up. You don't have to. You just don't want this to be soupy. Time to spice it up. A tablespoon of oregano, a teaspoon of rosemary, a teaspoon of salt, a teaspoon of onion powder, 1/4 teaspoon black pepper, 1/2 teaspoon of dry basil, and then some fresh basil. If you can't tell, I love me some basil, fresh and dried. Now I had an Italian friend's mom tell me, do not stir, just let it simmer. I'm gonna let it simmer for 15 minutes. She honestly used to put it in a crock pot overnight. That's up to you. I'm gonna do 15 minutes. Now let that sauce simmer on low. We gotta make ourselves the ricotta filling. I'm gonna admit this part's gonna be vague. A little bit of Parmesan cheese, 1 egg, that's specific, garlic powder, a little bit of onion powder, some fresh ground black pepper, a little basil, and a little oregano, and basically just pinches of all those things. That's what I do. Now mix it up. You don't want it to be lumpy, you want it to be nice and frothy, like this. I am not making the dough in the Italian Old World Southern style, where they use semolina and water. I am doing it in the old school Northern style, which is wheat and eggs. Why? Well, this is the way I know how to make it, and semolina's expensive, brah. So you need 2 cups of flour. Normally, for each cup, you need a large egg. Now these large eggs were tiny large eggs, so I actually needed 3 of these supposed large eggs, and a tablespoon of olive oil. The bottom line is, you need the dough to look like this when it comes out. Get your workstation nice and powdered. You're gonna need it. This is exactly how you want the dough to come out. If it's too sticky, add a little bit more flour. If it's too dry and powdery, add a little bit more oil, or if you need to, put another egg in there, but that's a last resort. Now knead like a little kitten cat. Just knead and knead and knead, and one day you'll have Popeye forearms. Once done kneading, I like to roll it up in a little ball and then cut it into 4 equal parts because that's how many layers I'm gonna have. 4. And because you cut them in equal sizes beforehand, your noodles should be uniform. Get them nice and powdery. You do not want them to stick to your rolling pin. I personally prefer the French rolling pin over a traditional rolling pin because you can get a lot more leverage and just use your hands to let it roll back and forth. I tend to bend the actual rolling pins and not get any leverage. If you've got a pasta maker, then more power to you. Since this is a lasagna for two, we're using a small loaf pan and I'm measuring it to the exact size. A little bigger is fine. I like to tuck in the noodles slightly and it works perfect. And the best part of making the noodles like this is no boiling. That's right. You don't have to boil. You stick it right in the pan and the sauce does the cooking for you and it comes out amazing. Yeah. Alright, I'm exhausted from all this talking and cooking. I'm gonna shut up and build this bad boy and let you watch and enjoy. See you in a bit. Damn, that's birdie. Now time to put it in the oven at 425 for 20 minutes, but keep an eye on it. Not all ovens are the same. We like the edges slightly crispy with the cheese because it's good and makes my life happy for that moment. The bottom line and the important thing is you need to make sure that fork can easily go through all the layers. If it can, it's dinner time. Anyway, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. It's been a long time in the making. It's a bit laborious, but I promise you, it is worth it. And it will be one of the best lasagnas you've ever had, or your money back guarantee. And seeing as how this video is free, I'm going to stand by that guarantee. If you do like these videos, please do comment and subscribe if you haven't already, and like and share these videos. Share them on Facebook, share them on Twitter, share them with your family. If you also want to, you can follow us and support us on Patreon. It's up to you, no big whoop, but we really do appreciate that, and that allows us to keep doing these kind of videos, especially these recipe ones that take a lot more time. So, thank you guys so much. You can follow us on all these things here. And I was going to say until next time, but you know what? I just remembered. The best part of lasagna? Leftovers. I actually almost think the next day lasagna is the best lasagna. I don't even heat it up. Yeah, I'm weird. I know. Jen does. I don't. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Until next time.